Hello, and welcome to Keeping It Real with Shannon Live. Because you don't know how it's going to turn out.
My kids empowered me to get out.
What's going on with this remote learning and in the midst of COVID?
Working for different elected officials, learning and understanding how to put the community first.
Well, hello, and welcome to Keeping It Real with Shannon. Thank you so much for joining us today. And how are you there, my co-host?
I'm good. I'm so happy and blessed that it's 2025.
Yeah, I'm excited about the year too. Well, I guess we're gonna be excited about the year, but I'm just gonna say to everybody before we start this show that look, y'all better stay on your knees praying this year because that
Absolutely
it's already started. I already went and bought my packs of beans and box stuff. You better start stocking up now. I'm telling you.
I'm coming over, Lottie. You ain't that far. I'm coming over.
You don't know what's gonna happen. Like I told them, I'm so glad I paid attention to my grandparents when they used to cook and do meals with a pot of butter beans and a pan of cornbread, and we thought we had it going on. So I know how to go back to all of that stuff.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm.
Oh, but today we're doing our hot topics, and I'm excited about our guests coming on because we're gonna be talking about our soulmates and twin flames. So I guess she can explain that to us. So let's bring her on, our guest for today.
Absolutely. Our special guest tonight is Miss Carol Nelson. She is a 4-decade speech pathologist and 3-decade energy healer trained in advanced Theta Healing and Access Consciousness. She enjoys healing people rapidly, shift mental and emotional blocks like overwhelm and unworthiness to joy and peace, so they are a magnet of love, career success, and a lifetime of terms. Let's welcome Miss Nelson to the show.
Hi, everybody.
Hello, Miss Nelson. Don't you look gorgeous, the healer?
Oh, thank you so much. I'm trying to keep up with y'all.
I'm trying to keep up with Lottie.
Well, thank you so much for joining us because I am so interested in finding out about the soulmate, the twin flame, and the karmic life. I'm sure we all have been through all three. All three, I'm sure, but
I guarantee you.
What is the three of these relationships?
Sure. You know what they are. You just didn't know the name of them. And we talk about soulmate a lot because it's something that most of us are gravitating towards or wanting. There's a lot of movies about that, articles written about that, because those are the relationships that are easy. You feel like you're at home with this person. You can talk or not talk, and it feels really good. Let me see. They support you. They grow with you, and they bring you peace. They don't bring you drama. They bring you peace. So that would be the soulmate, and you could see why that's the most desirable one, the soulmate. The next one is called the twin flame, and this is a relationship that challenges us, which is good, but because they kind of mirror us, bless you, because they mirror us, it's like we have the same buttons that they have. So they can push our abandonment buttons or our whatever the triggers that we have, they have too. So we trigger each other, but because we love each other, we help each other grow. But sometimes it's going to feel like, something's going on, something getting ready to happen. You have your ups, you have your downs, but you work through it and you stay together because you love each other and you want each other to grow.
Right.
But that is the relationship of major life lessons due to the major challenges. It activates deep transformation. So I want to talk about the karmic relationship, and everybody knows about the karmic relationships because they have movies about those, the ups and downs of life. When you are in a karmic relationship, you have automatic attraction and automatic repellion. There's ups and downs. I'm not talking to you. Silent treatment. You make up. You wake up. You know the song about make up. What is it? Wake up to.
Wake up.
But those are the toxic relationships. There's abuse. There could be violence. It could be the reason why they're called karmic relationships is because they're the ones that you're supposed to stop doing. These are the wake-up call relationships I've had enough of this type of relationship and no more. So that's what that person is there for. They're different from the twin flame, because the twin flame will stay with you and they will work it out. The karmic relationship, this last one I've been talking about, they will leave you. They're not in it for the long haul. So I'm curious, me ladies, which ones have you been in? Are you recognizing the number one, the soulmate, the twin flame, where you stay in it, you love each other, or the karmic, where it's chaos?
Well, you know what? I have to say I have been in all of them, except I've been in the karmic, but not to the point that I would stay to be fighting with anyone or anything like that. Because I'm not going to take any abuse from any man or anyone. But I have been in relationships where if I have to fight you, I will fight you. If necessary. So I'm not going to stay there. But I know I've been in the soulmate because that's the kind of relationship I want. I want a relationship where we love each other. And that's why we're in the relationship. I'm not in the relationship because I need somewhere to stay or someone to take care of me, because I think it's safe or whatever. I don't want to be by myself, and all that kind of stuff. That is the type of relationship that I like, because I like to take care of somebody and I like for them to take care of me. And I want them to be there for me and I want to be there for them. When you come home from work, I'm gonna have that food on the table for you. And when you come in, you're gonna bring me some flowers and stuff. See, I'm very romantic, I'm not all this arguing and fighting and staying somewhere just to stay. No, I would eat grits, cornbread, beans, or whatever, be by myself before I have to suffer.
Well, Lottie, I'm always saying I could do bad by myself, right?
Exactly.
Then said and done. But now at this stage in the game, I can't really say I've been in a soulmate relationship, right? I have more years behind me than ahead. So that may be something that just down the pipeline, just waiting to come. So I'm okay with that too. As far as the twin relationship, I think people can agree to disagree. So you will have things, because sometimes when people get together, you don't really know all what embodies that person, right? Sometimes people have childhood traumas. Some people have experiences that they don't bring to other relationships. People, they could be triggers that you don't really know. So I always say, that's okay. It could be good and bad. People can agree to disagree. But a lot of people today, they don't really find the time to disassociate themselves when there's a disagreement. People want to have the last words. People want to have the last say and these kind of things. Now, for your karmic relationship, I ain't into that really. I'm gonna entertain you for a little bit here, back forth. After that, that relationship just turns me off, because after a while, it's like, where's you going? You're not building. There's no resiliency. There's no future. There's no goal. If you can't kind of come together and collaboratively talk about these things, and you have a vision where you're working towards together, then what's the purpose?
Yeah.
Because you don't need to.
But in that karmic relationship, I mean, to me, that's not even a relationship anyway, because if you're constantly fighting with someone all the time, that's already telling you that person is not for you, because you don't waste time fighting all the time.
But
it's always good to argue sometimes so you can make up, because it's good when you make up. It's okay to start a little fight every now and then, but when somebody, every time they come home and in the door, they're gonna start something, like, take your behind back out the door.
Yeah. But that is the relationship of learning your lesson. So don't blame the other person. When are you going to wake up and say no more? That's what they're there for. But once they've shown you who they are, believe them, and then you decide what you're going to do. That person is there to teach you. You are done with this type of relationship. It's not for them to leave, and they do leave because they never want to work it out. But you do have fun with them. The relationship can be explosive, where it's like, oh my God, I can't get enough of them. But it never stays that way. You don't have peace in that relationship.
Right. But the thing is, sometimes people, just lost my train of thought, but sometimes people are in these relationships and they can't get out. or sometimes you got fear set in, or you have different types of toxic relationships where people just can't leave. It's not
Yeah, but
necessarily
see that relationship, like you talking about Vanessa, when you like you was saying, see, eventually that relationship turns to domestic stuff. It turns to after a while they're abusing you, or you abusing them one.
That's what we call that.
Yeah, that turns to stuff like that. So that can really become serious.
But even if it's not physical abuse, you have emotional abuse, you have verbal abuse, so you have other types of abuse.
Yes, it could be one-sided. You know how some people are takers and some people are givers.
Absolutely.
You know, that kind of thing. Let me see what else. I have a couple
and
of
see
notes
the twin
here.
and the twin flame relationship. I mean, you know, the going back and forth with each other, trying to have the last word or whatever. I guess in a relationship like that, if you just learn to respect each other, like let that person say, you know, what they have to say, and you say what you have to say, and don't think that what they're saying doesn't mean anything, and for them to not think what you're saying is not important. When you get to the point that you can respect each other and let each other say what they have to say, I mean, you know, I wouldn't consider that relationship that bad, but I mean, to me, that one is more like lust, you know, to me, that relationship.
Well, no, that is a deep loving relationship. But the thing is, they have things to heal from, and so do you. That's what's brought you together. Another sign of the twin flame is that you recognize each other right away. It's like you just met them, but you feel like you've known them forever. And they are not, it's not a mean-spirited relationship. Both of you have stuff to sort out. Maybe you have low self-esteem to sort out. Maybe you have repression. You're not used to expressing your emotions. You have to sort out. So it's almost like being in a boxing ring, but of love, where you work things out and things come out. Because when you have been repressing your feelings for a long time, they come out. But you have a loving person to help you. And yes, sometimes it's going to be too much, but they don't walk away from you. They love you through it. Sometimes you don't want to be around each other because you see yourself and you have not dealt with that. But they're there to just almost like massage and push you through by being your reflection. They are your mirror. But
like you was saying about when you meet them, right? It feels like you've already known them because the chemistry connects. Because when you meet someone and the chemistry connects, you know, you feel like, maybe I have met my soulmate. You know, maybe this is the person I've been waiting for. And then you will pick up on little stuff that they do or say or whatever. But then you say, well, you know, maybe that's just the way they are. You know, maybe I got to get to know them a little better. Or maybe I can say something to them to let them know what they are saying is offensive. You know what I'm saying? Like you think you can be working on them to help change them or whatever. Not that we can change anybody, but I mean, sometimes, you know, you can deal with someone and once they, you know, like you, respect you, you know, they'll start listening to what you say to them and what you tell them.
Absolutely. It's one of the most loving relationships of transformation. It's very different from the soulmate, who would be more, okay, I love you, and they will gently support you. But the twin flame would be more forceful. They would push you more to get better. I want you to be better. I want to be better, and I want you to be better. I'm changing. I want you to change. Like I said, they are mirroring each other's stuff.
But I think people need a lot. I think people need a lot of self-identification too before they even get to a relationship. Some people in a relationship for the wrong reasons. Some people in a relationship trying to replace people who have done wrong to them, and some people, like you said, have not healed in order to get in a relationship. So it's just all depends. But listening is key. Listening is key.
Okay, then. Well, like I say, we picked up all three of them, I think, but we're gonna take a quick break. We'll be right back.
All right.
It's Shannon. It's Shannon.
I don't remember how it started.
Go to that.
Our back and forth. It always came back. Dad! You probably don't remember what you told me.
That was perfect.
But I heard every word.
we're back. If you're just joining us, we have our special guest, Miss Kara Nelson. We've been talking about the three different relationships: your soulmate, your twin flame, and the karmic relationship. So, Miss Kara, I want to know about. Show us how do we need to know how to open up to love, trust, and security? Because a lot of times people don't know how to love. They want to love, but they don't know how to love, and they want to trust, but they just can't trust.
Right. And so a lot of us are blocked. I'm just going to go over 3 telltale signs of the 3 again, just in case people have joined us late. And I really like the ad that you just played about fathers nurturing their daughters, and how important that is. Sometimes twin flames will come together because they didn't have the nurturing in childhood that would have been helpful to them. And they come and they help each other through that. So with the soulmate, you feel emotionally safe. You're a friend first, and then there's romance. You grow gently because they are supportive. There is no chaos, and they want you to be the best version of you. And you have similar values and similar life goals. And they don't even have to be a lover. They could be a very good friend or family member. Okay, so that would be the soulmate. The twin flame, how would you know them? As I was saying before, when you meet them, it seems like you've known them forever already. And you can be on an emotional roller coaster with the twin flame, even through the love. There is deep love and passion for you. But you do trigger each other because you have the same stuff to work out that you haven't worked out. So it's challenging, but it can be overwhelming, but you don't leave because you love each other that much. You're a mirror for each other's wounds, and you encourage each other to heal. Okay? You can grow very quickly, but it may not be easy because you're loving each other through it. Right. Now, the karmic relationship is full of highs and lows. Yeah. You feel drained instead of energized. The relationship is exhausting emotionally and mentally. And you keep repeating unhealthy patterns. It's a karmic cycle that you need to break so that you can have peace. So that's that wake-up call relationship. It's time to stop. So that would be a relationship to bless too. All of them are a blessing, but that would be a relationship to bless because they're there to help you. Stop it. Right? So
I don't know because I can only speak for myself because sometimes I wonder, because I know people who are in relationships, right? And it's not working. They know it's not working. They know the person don't care anything about them, but they just stay there. And I can't believe it's love, but I guess they love the person.
Sometimes they think they're going to change.
Absolutely.
A lot of people are in denial.
You're constantly arguing with somebody every single day for months after month.
Are in
what
denial.
makes you think it's going to change?
People stay in relationships for all kinds of reasons. Do you know I have?
No, that's what I'm saying. I said I don't.
People are so lonely. So lonely that they would rather sleep with a pit bull that's dangerous than be alone in the house. You understand what I'm saying? Some people do not have the capacity to be alone because when they are with themselves, they realize they have things to work out. If there's drama in the house, sometimes people prefer to be in a chaotic relationship because they don't have to look at themselves. They can always blame the other person.
Well, you know what you just said when you say when people don't want to be alone. Because I was just talking to one of my friends a couple of weeks ago, and the relationship is not working. Most of the time she in one side of the house and they on the other side of the house, and you be like, well, why would you want to be in a relationship like that? And they said, oh, because I don't want to be alone. And I said, you don't want to be alone. I said, but you are alone because you on the other side of the house and they're on the other side. You're not talking to each other. So
that would be the illusion of a relationship.
And they feel a sense of security because someone else is in the home.
Right. There could be a multitude of reasons. Some people have never been alone in their lives culturally, and some.
I'm not even talking about being alone. I'm talking about somebody that's constantly nagging and talking and arguing with you all the time. As soon as they come,
let me go into the neuroscience behind it.
I'd be waiting behind the door with a bat or something. Once I got sick, enough is enough.
Let me go into the neuroscience behind that because the brain is the most sophisticated pharmacy on the planet. And each emotion that we have, whether it's a horrible feeling emotion or good feeling emotion, has a chemical released by the brain that is reflective of that emotion. So if you're in a karmic relationship with a lot of toxicity, the brain is going to release things like what is that? Cortisol, adrenaline. It'll release chemicals associated with stress. And that could be exciting for people. And the cells get used to feeling that way. And when you don't have that, that's why fights are started, drama is started, heated conversations are started, because there's a chemical release that the body has become addicted to. Those cells crave that. Where is this chemical? What's going on? And the opposite is true. In the soulmate relationship, the brain is going to release dopamine, oxytocin, which is specifically a relationship hormone, serotonin, endorphins. It's going to feel really good to be in a good relationship. Absolutely. The brain makes sure of that. And then there are other things going on. There's this thing in the brain called the habenula. That if you've had a lot of drama in your life, especially in childhood, this thing will shut off the brain's ability to release the good feeling hormone. So you don't know what it feels like to feel good. It feels normal to be in chaos. So you have to really desire a soulmate. You have to break an addiction. You have to break the addiction. It's an addiction.
Well, that's a good analogy you use, Carol, with an addiction, because it's just like other type of addictions, right? Where your body becomes dependent on it, and your body reacts to the stimulus that it receives.
You truly become chemically dependent upon certain emotions that will release certain hormones into the body. And those receptor cells, it's almost like going the same way to work every day. And it's a you live in a place where there's a lot of snowfall. Of course, you're going to keep going that way because it's the safest way, even though there's a lot of traffic that way. You get grumpy because there are car accidents, because you don't want to go down the road you have to shovel, or it'll be bumpier, but you'll have your peace. You'll have the peace that way.
So how would you, as a person, particularly if you don't want to recognize that something is going on, because I know most people know, I don't care what kind of relationship they are, which is all three or 1, 2 or whatever, they signs and red flags to tell you this is not for you, because first of all, like you said, the body starts tearing down. You start acting different. You are tired. You don't have no energy because you just drain from all the stress of being with that person all the time. And then when someone is always beating you down, those words, if you're not a strong person, will take effect on you.
But your health is a leading factor. You get high blood pressure, nervous breakdown, anxiety.
Yes.
Now you're on medication. So you have all these other things that are contributory factors to that.
Well, that's what I'm saying, because when these domestic violence cases happen and finally the person get tired of the other person and they do something they're not supposed to do, then you want to blame them for hurting that person or whatever, when that person have already beat you down. So then all of a sudden in the nick of a time, you're not even thinking, then you harm the person or whatever. That's why people should not be in relationships. That's
it's easier.
I know it's not easy, but
especially if you have low self-esteem. And you have come from a different background, abusive background as a child. You have traumatic event, and this person brings you in. So it's a lot of factors that it's really easier said than done. It's easy for us to say what we would have, what we would tolerate, what we won't tolerate, but it's not always easy for the next one to really get out of that situation.
No, I understand that it's true, because you know what I said when we was growing up.
Let us get out. Let us get out. Because so many people, it's very easy to talk about the problem. I've worked with women who say they want a man, and I go, well, what type of man do you want? Well, I don't want him to smoke. I don't want him to have any kids. I don't want him to be broke. I don't want him to be short. It's like, who goes to a restaurant and say for hot ribs, and says, I don't want fish. I'm just baby back rib. I'm thinking, I don't know why I thought of baby back rib. What if you go into a restaurant for baby back ribs and they ask you, what do you want? Well, I don't want fish and and I don't want clams, and I don't want oatmeal. Lady, what do you want? That's what God is saying. That's what the universe is saying. If you keep complaining and focusing on what you don't want, that's what you're going to get.
You're not going to have
Because
anything.
the nouns and verbs deliver a message of instruction because they can be easily seen. Did you hear that? Don't want fish. Don't want. Okay, give her fish with oatmeal on it. There you go. Then you get to complain more, and there's the cycle of. So know what you want. So I have to tell you just very briefly, I was in a karmic relationship, and he helped me, and all of a sudden the bubble popped. Because I had a conversation with a man who spoke to me the way I needed to be spoken to, just over the phone. I was at the hairdresser, set it up for a date, and I went, boop, the bubble popped, and I never went back to the other guy. So I have to say, love, when you're ready, love has no opposite. When you get what you want that feels good, all that other stuff is like, you have amnesia. So let's create in ourselves that good feeling love that has no opposite. Okay, absolutely. Because we are love. So at the base of the spine, there's this energy center called the chakra. It's called the root chakra. And when that is healed, when it's flowing, because we store and stick a lot of things down there. Mm-hmm. When it's healed, we feel secure in relationships. We feel worthy in relationships. We feel safe. We can trust. We let go of doubt. We let go of insecurity. We let go of I don't deserve. So that's a foundational feeling to have. How are you going to enter a relationship? You don't trust anything. You don't feel safe or secure. So let's just do some deep breathing in through your nose, out through your mouth. And just see this beautiful red light spinning all the way at the base of the spine around clockwise, healing itself. And now I want you to take 5 to 10 very quick breaths just in and out through your nose. Those are fire breaths. And stop and realize that you can breathe in trust. Do that now, nice and slow. And slowly breathe out insecurity. Breathe in worthiness. And breathe out insecurity. Breathe in safety. It is safe to love. And breathe out doubt and fear. And let's do one last breath in through the heart, because that is where there's self-love. So breathe in through the back of the heart and just hold it there. Cherish it. Breathe in through the back of the heart and just cherish that love coming in, and breathe out through the front of the heart. And one last time, breathe in through the back of the heart and hold it there. Cherish that love, and whatever doesn't belong, breathe out. And just allow yourself to know that something wonderful is happening for me now. Something good is happening for me now. Feeling your heart open up to that. Feeling that root chakra at the bottom of the spine opening up to that. Isn't that good?
Well, that felt good, but we're out of time.
I understand. I understand.
So I hope you know which relationship you're in. If you're in the wrong one, get out and get out now. So thank you for joining us tonight. Thank you for joining us tonight. And as always, thank you, ladies. Thank you, Miss Carol, for coming on and
my pleasure.
Opening our eyes to what relationship we're in and what kind of man we're looking for. So hey, know what kind of man you're looking for before you even start looking. So as always, make sure you watch us every Saturday on Brick, 5:30 Manhattan Network at 2:30 p.m. And as always, we'll see you next time.
Today's show is sponsored by Abu's Bakery. If you have a sweet tooth, stop by Abu's Bakery for some delicious cakes and pies.
Would you like beautiful pictures for your home or your office? Then stop by Faith Art Gallery. They have a large selection of pictures from around the world.
It's Shannon.